So that job's done, and that is a classic case of a customer not getting the boiler serviced and warranty is void. That boiler was fitted with a 10-year warranty. All of the jobs that are done today on that boiler, all the work that I've done at the pressure sensor diverter valve, that would have all been covered under warranty if the customer had got it serviced. So this is why I say to customers, get your boiler serviced, especially if you've got a warranty on it. Maintain that warranty and save yourself any additional costs. Morning everyone. I was not meant to be working today, well, only because I didn't have any work booked in, but I woke up this morning and this is the joy of being a breakdown engineer, being reactive. I've got 3 jobs to do now, which is great. 2 of them I believe will be pretty straightforward. One's at F75 on a vaillant, and I believe it's a pressure sensor, not the pump, because the customer's saying that the boiler does work intermittently when they reset it, and usually if it was the pump it would just be completely dead. But if they're able to reset it and it fires up, then more than likely it's going to be the pressure sensor. I've also got a diverter valve on a glowworm to do, which is the straightforward one. I'll link it in this video and I'll put a link in the description as well, because I've done a dedicated video on how to change a diverter valve on a glowworm / EcoFit Pure. And then I've got to go look at a Worcester which apparently has leaked all over the place. I've worked on this one I think last year, maybe a year before, done a full service on it, and I believe it also needed a new internal filling loop. So that's all been replaced last time. That was a while ago. I'll see when I get there if I'll put any notes or doodles on the boiler to see when I was there last. So I've got that to do as well. I don't know what that one is. It might be one of the blocks, left or right hand block. I've got left hand block on the van, not a right hand block. So if it is that, then I might have to go and quickly pick one up. So that's my day for today. Let's see how it goes. Right, here we go. We've got this glowworm energy, and funnily enough, I remember helping my colleague Adam, Plumbing on Demand, fit this boiler. It's a small world. I didn't recognize the address when it got sent to me because I've been sent here by another engineer who's actually friends with the customer. But yeah, I walked in here and I was like, I recognize this boiler, I recognize this install, but we've got a leaking diverter valve. I'm gonna get the case off, get it into mid position, drain it all out, and then we'll swap out the diverter valve, which is, here we go. So this is just the standard one. Like I said, I have done a dedicated video on how to do these, so I'll link that in the description. But for today, we're just going to get it done. Yeah, it is definitely the diverter valve. You can see that staining underneath there, and the water's all pooling. Sometimes it can be a little bit like, oh, where is it actually leaking from? Because you can see the water's pooled everywhere. But this is very common on these glowworms, vaillant, EcoFits. So like I said, got a new one here. We're going to get that swapped out quick time. Well, first challenge, that was completely seized, so I had to take the little black shroud off of it and use the twin grips to try and turn that off. So I finally got that turned off, left that one open because I hate using the drain offs on these. So shut off the butterfly valve on there, and I'm going to put a washing machine valve on there and drain it from the filter, and then I can work on the diverter valve. Right, it's all drained out, but I think we've also got a pressure sensor fault here as well. So let me go and grab a pressure sensor out of the van as well, and we'll get both done at the same time. Right, I don't know how well you can see, but let's get the pressure sensor out of here. I'm gonna get, oh yeah, it's like some water out. I'm really not keen on, yeah, so why is there still water coming out of there? Right, let me get the wet back out. Yeah, I'm not keen on how these drain out, because for some reason, no matter what you do, they never fully drain out. So I'm going to need the wet vac for the diverter valve anyway. So let's get the pressure sensor done first. You can see quality of the water. Just pop that in there, that in there, and it's got a different type of clip, which right, sensor is in now. Let's check. There we go, 0, 0. That's what we want. Now we can do the diverter valve. Didn't actually get hardly any water out there, which is good. It must have all drained out. That's in. Remember, it's plastic, so you don't need to go too mad on it. Plug that in. That's it. Fill it up, purge it, and we're out of here. So that job's done, and that is a classic case of a customer not getting the boiler serviced and warranty is void. That boiler was fitted with a 10-year warranty. All of the jobs that are done today on that boiler, all the work that I've done at the pressure sensor, diverter valve, that would have all been covered under warranty if the customer had got it serviced. So this is why I say to customers, get your boiler serviced, especially if you've got a warranty on it. Maintain that warranty and save yourself any additional costs. Now I've got to go do a pressure sensor on a vaillant. I'm not going to record it because it's a pressure sensor. You've just seen me do one. It's going to be the same sort of stuff. So let me go and get that done, and then we'll catch up again at the Worcester job. We're here. We're here. Let's go do battle with this leaking Worcester. Here we go. We've got a leaking green star. So it's leaking from both left and the right. And first couple of things, first questions to ask the customer is, has the boiler lost pressure? That will determine whether it's on the cold main side or if it's on the system side. So I've noticed that the pressure is almost at 0 here. So I've asked the customer, has he noticed that the pressure's dropped whilst it's been leaking? And he said yes. So that to me already tells me that the leak is probably going to be something on the system side, not the cold main side. He's also reported that when the boiler's running, the pressure's been going up into the red. That's most likely going to be an expansion vessel issue. So we'll check the expansion vessel as well. And well, firstly, let's take the case off. Let's see where the leak's coming from, try and identify that, and then see what we can do from there. We found it. Right hand block. You can see where it's all scaled up there. And the reason why it's also dripping on the left hand side is fine, but basically there's a channel there, so the water drips on it, and most of it's also dripping this side, but then it will go down that side and drip down that side, because the left hand block is absolutely fine. There's nothing split or leaking on there. It's just the right hand block, which I'll need to go and get, because like I said, I've got the left hand block on me but not the right hand block. So let me try and find a local supplier who has one, and we can try and get that swapped out today. Okay, so found a supplier near me who's got it in stock, so I'm going to go and get that. But I think what I'm actually going to do first is I'm going to strip out the right hand block, just in case I'll pick up anything else that might need replacing. That I can pick up those parts at the same time rather than going back and forth. I've got a PRV and a flow turbine adapter on the van anyway, so that's not a problem. But just in case, you never know when you start taking these apart. I've just checked the expansion vessel. That was flat as a pancake. I've drained it out and repressurized it. And I've put some LDF on there and that's not bubbling. So that's a good sign. It means the Schrader valve is not letting by. Someone is calling me. That's the wife. I'll call her back in a minute. She's just finished work and going to pick up the kids. Right, let me start stripping this out and then I'll come back to this. Right, here we go. Right hand block is out. You can never tell where these have actually split from, but because it just all scales up all over the place. But that's out, pumps out, and it's all stopped dripping now, so we know that there isn't anything else that needs replacing other than what I stated already, which is the right hand block, PRV, and change the flow turbine adapter as well. We're going to go down to the merchants, get that, come back and refit it. Right, I've got the right hand block. That's the part number if anyone wants it. I always change the PRV and the flow turbine adapter with it, because whilst you've got the block out, you might as well do that as well for an extra, what, 30-40 quid in parts alone, because then if that ever goes in the future, you have to take all this out again to replace it anyway. This is the more expensive part of the block because it comes with the diverter valve and the motor and everything already built in. But I always, like I said, flow turbine adapter, PRV. And now all I'm going to do first, you've seen me do this before, I'm going to mimic this. So I'm going to rebuild everything onto the new block first before I put it in. One thing to note as well is the orientation of the bypass valve, because funnily enough, I'm in a group chat with other plumbing and heat engineers, and someone else put up a picture today. They watched my video of how to change a right hand block, but they couldn't get the pump back in for love nor money. And they sent some pictures in the group chat. I'm looking at the bypass valve and he'd fitted it back to front. Now I don't know if it goes in both ways or one ways, but evidently not, because the way he was trying to fit it, he was saying that the pump kept hitting the bypass pipe. Not bypass valve, the bypass pipe. So I had a look at his picture, and then he sent a screenshot of my YouTube video of me changing it. And then in there, it looked like the bypass pipe was the other way around. So yeah, no, they are different, because look, that is got a bit more of a shallower bend there, and that's got a bit more of a tighter bend there. So he had this bit in there, and I think where he was trying to get the pump in, it was hitting that part of the bypass pipe. So see, over here, you've got a bit more space here where the pump goes in. So it's just to make sure that, remember, when you do one of these blocks, make sure that you put the bypass pipe in the same way in. There is also another little hack as well. You don't need to put the bypass pipe back in, because it does come with bungs in the packaging here to actually block off the bypass sections. And the time that you can do that is if on your heating circuit that you're working on, if there's one radiator which doesn't have TRVs and it's just got 2 lock shields and it's used as a bypass radiator, you then don't need to worry about putting the bypass pipe back in, because if the boiler needs to bypass, it will bypass to that radiator. I always just put the bypass pipe back in just for peace of mind, but I know some people do struggle to get the bypass pipe back in when you're doing left and right hand blocks. So if there's and this has come from someone who works for Worcester as well, so it's not just me making this up, it's from Worcester themselves. They say that if you have a bypass radiator on your heating circuit, you can just put the bungs in for the bypass section, so that way you don't have to worry about faffing about with that. But we're going to put the bypass pipe back in and keep it all as it is. So I'm going to set you back up on the time lapse, and yeah, let's just get this boiler back together. right, back together finally. Probably saw I made a few boo-boos in that one where I put it all back together and, well, I put the block in, and I realised I hadn't put the PRV clip in. So I always like using the one off the original one because it's got the little hook end, because the new one, it comes things like this. So I'm not really confident in these new clips. So I was trying to use the old clip. Got that in, and then what else did I forget? Oh no, I didn't forget, but I thought let me try and put the cold pipe back in and then try and squeeze the pump in, but yeah, that didn't work. So then I took the cold pipe back out again, then got the pump in. Then I forgot that little, where's it gone? That special washer on top of the pump. I didn't forget, I thought I could put it in afterwards, but you can't because that literally clamps down onto it. So had to take the pump back out again, put that washer on, then put it all back together. The bypass, funnily enough, was the easiest part to go in. So that's all in, everything's tightened up now. I'm going to turn on the water, fill up the boiler, check that it's not leaking, test it, and then we should be sweet. Let's do it live, shall we? Right, so that's open, cold, it's coming on now. Okay, it's looking okay. I don't know why I turned the gas off. Normally, yeah, it's because if I'm doing the left hand side, then you've got to turn the gas off, but you don't need it for the right hand side because I normally take the gas pipe out to get the left hand side in. Okay, so we're pressurized in terms of the cold mains. So now let's just open up a hot tap, let all the air out of it. You're going to see that splutter in a minute. There you go. Okay, so that's all looking good. Now we're under mains pressure. I mean, mains pressure is going to be more than the boiler pressure anyway, so the fact that that's holding is good. But let's now top up the actual boiler pressure as well. Make sure that that is all good as well. That's locked in. We're just coming up to 1.5. I'm going to let go just past 1.5 because I'm going to vent it from that vent tube at the top as well, just to vent the main heat exchanger. Okay, so we are at just over 1.5 bar. No weeps, no leaks, everything's holding. So happy days. Now, like I said, I'm just going to vent the main heat exchanger and then 26.9 checks, and then we're out of here.